Greetings, wonderful Lakewood families. This is Principal Erica Parker with just a few notices for you. I really appreciate everyone who was able to make back to school night this past Thursday, September 19th. It was a success. We had a huge crowd. We know that it was night, but it really happened at 2:15 right after dismissal. We wanted to make it as convenient as possible for those who were already picking up their students. So I just wanted to go over about 2 or 3 bulleted items with you. First, communication with classroom staff, namely the teachers. I'm asking, please do not try to have deep conversation with teachers between 7:30 a.m. and 2:10 p.m. We must focus on safely getting students into classrooms and keeping up with their routine, as well as dismissing them safely and making sure that we're giving students to the proper adult to pick them up or sibling. So when parents try to have conversations in the morning, it's very disruptive to what normally happens in the classroom, but we would be more than happy to have you schedule a time to speak with teachers. You can schedule a time either through the office or communicate directly electronically with the teacher, because all teachers have Class Dojo for communication. So please, please, please make sure we have your most up-to-date telephone information as well as email addresses. This is imperative to receive communication from us. Anytime something changes, we need to be updated in case of an emergency. By the way, we've started already practicing our emergency evacuation drills. We started practicing today, but we have monthly drills every month. And that's just to practice in case there's an emergency and we need to leave. So it is really important that we always have up-to-date contact information for every parent, period. Also, regarding dismissal, if you do not pick your child up on time, there's a certain grace period window we do give you, but we've had more and more children here closer to 3 o'clock, and that is completely unacceptable since dismissal is 2:10 p.m. It is Baltimore City Public Schools district policy that if children, especially at our children's young age, are not picked up in a timely fashion, we must call school police, who then reach out to Child Protective Services. It is not our intention to get any parent or guardian in trouble or to have a court case. However, we must make sure that every child is picked up on time. It takes a village to raise children. So it also included in that village are people who can pick your child up. So in the list of authorized pickups that you gave us, please do not list someone who lives in Virginia and can't be here to pick up your child in an emergency if you can't get here. Please don't list anyone in Pennsylvania. We've had this happen. So we would call the person and they're like, I'm too far away. Please try to find somebody close who actually can come get your child if you can't. All right, so we've discussed communication with classroom staff, that we do not stop instruction or routines for parent conferences. That's just inappropriate. Again, now I need to talk about supplies. We don't ask you for many supplies, but we do need a change of clothes, seasonal clothes. So if we're going into cool weather, we'll need to make sure we have cool weather clothes here in case your child not only has a bathroom accident, we have children with lunch accidents. Milk, juice, water may spill on them. They may eat too fast and it comes up. We just need to make sure that they're comfortable. So if we use the change of clothes that you provide, please, please, please replace that the very next day as soon as possible, because sometimes accidents happen 2 days in a row. And it may not just be your child having an accident. If the person sitting next to them spills their milk and it gets over your child's pants, we can't have the baby sitting there in wet pants all day. So please keep up with the seasonal change of clothing that fits. And please just provide a typical size backpack with at least 1 2-pocket folder in it. We may just need to send supplies home or notifications to families. Last school year, we noticed that there was a significant drop-off in the number of students who brought backpacks, and children 4 years old were left to go home with papers in their hand. And by the time they got home, especially if a sibling picked them up, we don't know where the papers went. And the parents were like, oh no, I didn't know about thus and such. Your child needs just a backpack and a 2-pocket folder. Please, please, please. If you don't have one, you can contact the school and we can maybe provide one for you, because we may still have some supplies left of backpacks. But please, that is imperative. And please, parents, let them carry that backpack. It doesn't have bricks in it. As long as it's not too heavy for them to walk, please let them start being responsible for carrying their own things. We don't ask them to go get a job and raise a family, because that's just crazy. That's not something they can do. But they can carry a backpack with a folder in it. They can carry a lunch bag. If they can eat the lunch, they can carry the lunch. We're teaching them to be as independent as possible, knowing that they aren't independent, but that they can do something. And finally, routines for our young people. They are getting into the routine of being in school and what comes next, what we do first, all of that. But routines at home are so very critical. When they know what comes next, when they're not surprised with, oh no, I didn't know I was about to leave my room and go to another room for physical education or go to another room for art. They have come to expect, okay, here's our schedule and this is what comes next in the day. They would love that at home. What comes next? Are you going to mom and pop's house? Are we going to go see auntie or uncle? Let them know what's going to come next so they can start getting used to things. And if it's time to stop doing something that they really enjoy, give them a warning. We give them warnings so they can prepare. You know how, you have to get your mind right. Oh, it's time for me to go work. Let me get my mind right. I got to be working an hour or whatever you need to do. Like, oh, I got to go have this doctor's appointment. I don't feel like it, but I know I got to go to the doctor. You like to get yourself ready. They're young, but they enjoy getting themselves ready. So, okay, we're going to be winding up the TV watching or the tablet use. In about 10 minutes, we have visual timers. You may have a timer on your phone that if they hear the little beeps, they're like, oh, they know that time is up. It's time to transition to the next thing. Whether it's the bathtub, brushing of the teeth, whatever it is, whatever your routine is, just please make sure your child has a routine. They know what to expect next, but focus on morning routines, bedtime routines, and even preparation for bedtime. Like I said, winding up your play. We want to play all night, but we can't. And I hope my friends who came to parent orientation remember this. My question is, how much sleep does a child between the ages of 3 and 5 years old need? How much sleep do they need? Is it 8 hours? Is it 6 hours? How much time do they need to sleep? The answer is they need between 10 and 13 hours of sleep. Yes, they need way more sleep than you need. Their bodies are growing, their brains are growing and changing all of the time. You aren't getting any taller. Your brain may be doing some things, but their brains are doing an incredible amount of work and they need an incredible amount of rest just for that, the learning to take hold, just for them to remember, oh, A, B, C, D. Oh, that's an A. Oh, that's a V. Oh, that's a C. They need it. They need it. They need it. And I know I said that was the last thing. Well, one more final thing. We are finding that our children don't want to talk. They want to just nod and shake their head. Please, parents, don't browbeat them, but please just be mindful that if your child is answering you like this, but they have a voice, please ask them, say, I want to hear it. Let me hear your voice say it. Yeah. Can you say yes? Can you say no? They can. What I've started doing is if I'm asking a group of children something, I'll purposefully look away from them and put my ear to them so they know this is my cue to, I need to hear you. Or they'll want to whisper the answer. I say, my ears are old. I need you to speak loud. And all you need to do is take air into your nose and it automatically comes out of your mouth louder than you thought. But if I don't have a lot of air in there, I'm going to tell you what I can tell you. Breathe in the air and the words come out. Thank you so much for listening. Ms. Norris, our community school coordinator, will send the participants at back to school night. She will send you a video for a drawing for something else. Woo! It pays to come to us. And I'm going to start something with Principal Parker where I'm going to invite all the parents, but at different times. I'm going to invite small groups of parents to come and have coffee with Principal Parker. So you can ask me questions. You can say, hey, I didn't like this or whatever, but in a respectful way, of course. So you'll have coffee with Principal Parker, and we'll also have our social worker, Ms. McVie, available. Thank you again so much for listening to this, and have a wonderful, most fantastic, awesome, stupendous Lakewood evening.